Taylormation.
Friendly Henry Hand Puppet, Friendly Henry Hand Puppet, Friendly Henry Hand Puppet. Let's all read a story with Henry Hand Puppet.
Oh, where is everyone? It's very quiet around here. It looks as though someone has not been very careful with the paint. They have splashed it everywhere. Namaste, Fred. Where is everyone? Oh dear, what has happened to you? How did you get all that paint on you? Have you been painting a picture? Fred, did someone put the paint on you? That wasn't very kind. Did they make all the mess too? We need to find out who it was, and they need to clean it up. I can't see Henry or Harriet or Helen. Can you help me spot them? I think someone is playing a game. But it's not a very nice game if it makes a mess and makes their friends unhappy. Come here, please, Henry. Did you make this mess, Henry? So you and someone else did it together? Harriet! I'm very surprised, Harriet. You know that you are not supposed to flick paint. Did you make all this mess? So Helen has been doing it too. Helen? Helen? Helen! What are you doing? You know that flicking paint around is not a good thing to do. Did you tell the others to flick paint too? They know they shouldn't do it either. What about Fred? Fred wouldn't do it, would he? He was the only one who chose to do the right thing. While you clear up this horrible mess, Fred can choose a story from the special Bible book. Storytime. Let's read about Daniel. Daniel and his friends lived in a land far away from their home. They loved and worshipped God. One day, the king of the land said to Daniel and his 3 friends, "I want you to come and work for me." Daniel and his friends were pleased, but they were worried about eating the food from the king's palace because God did not want them to eat some of the food. While the other workers ate the same rich food and drank the same wine as the king, Daniel and his friends only ate vegetables and only drank water. God kept them fit and healthy, and they worked hard for the king, and he was happy with them. One day, the king had a statue of himself built. "Everyone must come and bow and worship my statue," he said. Daniel and his friends could not do that, as they could only worship God. The king found out that they would not bow down to the statue, and he was very angry. "Put Daniel's 3 friends into a room filled with very hot fire," he said. No one could survive in the very hot fire, but Daniel's friends did. When the king looked into the fiery room, he counted 1, 2, 3, 4. there were 4 people in there, and they were all still alive. God had taken care of them and was in the fiery room with them. Sometime later, the king said, "No one is allowed to pray to God. Anyone who prays to God will be thrown into a room with a hungry lion." Daniel had always prayed to God and wasn't going to stop now. The king found out and put Daniel in the room with the hungry lion and shut the door. The next morning, the king opened the door, expecting to see no Daniel and a lion with a very full-up tummy. The lion was there, but so was Daniel, without a scratch on him. God had kept Daniel safe. The king was so amazed that he decided to worship God too. And I'm sure the lion had something much tastier than Daniel for breakfast. Daniel and his friends did the right thing, even though they knew they would get into trouble with the king. God kept them safe because they obeyed him. Dear God, help us always to do the things we know are right and that please you, and help us not to choose the wrong things. Thank you that you are always with us. Amen. "Bow down, the king said. The king said. "No, no, no, no," the friends said. The friends said. "Then you will go in the fiery room, where you will surely meet your doom," the king said. The king said. God was in the fiery room, and they did not meet their doom. Don't pray, the king said. The king said. Yes, 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 Daniel said. Daniel said. Then you will be a lion's lunch. The lion likes to munch and crunch, the king said. The king said. God kept the lion from wanting lunch. He didn't want to munch and crunch. Daniel lived a better way and taught the king to praise and pray. Well done, Daniel. Because Fred was the only one who didn't choose to flick the paint around, he got to choose the story. I think you need to say sorry to him for flicking him with paint. That's better. Shall we play a game? The king in the story made a statue. Can you pretend to be a statue and stand very still? Let's play some music, and when the music stops, you have to stand like a statue. Anyone who moves has to sit down. Oh dear, Harriet, you danced after the music stopped. You'll have to sit down. That's a shame, Henry. Go and sit down, please. I think you have both won. Well done. It's time to go now. Goodbye, Henry. Namaste, Fred. Mahaba, Harriet. Where's Helen? There she is. Au revoir, Helen.